Welcome, yogis. I'm Michaela, and I'll be your yoga teacher for today. This is an all levels flow and is more on the gentle side. So it's great for a morning wake up stretch, or maybe a post workout stretch, or maybe you're on your moon cycle and it'd be good for that too. You get the vibe I'm putting out. So come to your hands and knees to begin, and settle your seat back on your heels. Take the knees wide to make space for the chest and the belly. Walk the hands forwards. Settle your chest down to the mat. And maybe resting your forehead. I'm just going to keep mine propped up while I speak. And breathe into the low back, making space with every breath. And take a few breaths just resting here in child's pose. Take this time to set an intention for this practice. If it's for self-care and for rest, take time to listen to your body and to gauge how intense you need to go or what's best for today's body. On your next inhale, walk yourself up and settle your wrists underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. Drop the belly and lift the chest, lift the gaze, and inhale. Exhale, round the spine, press your hands into the mat, curve the upper back, press the air away. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest, cow pose. And exhale, round into up cat. Inhale, roll through the vertebra, lift the chest. Be mindful to move with your breath. Exhale, press the air away. Naveling the spine. Inhale, once more, rolling through. Come to neutral spine or tabletop. Widen your fingers, maybe come back onto the butt of your palms, widen the fingers, and then settle them down into the mat. Curl your toes underneath you, and lift the hips up and back. Keep the knees bent for just a moment, just maybe stay here on your knees. Bend a little into the elbows. Wrap your elbows so that your elbows point back towards the mat now. Straighten through the arms. And slowly straighten your left leg and the right leg. And if your heels don't touch, that's fine. We're just going to take a moment to set up our down dog and to pedal through the legs. Stretch into one hamstring and then the other. And just getting a feel for this downward dog. See what's going on in the hips. Great. And look forward at the space between your hands. Inhale, flutter forward into a plank pose. Inhale completely. Exhale, lift the hips up and back. Come on the toes. And exhale, settle the heels down. Press the air out. Inhale, flutter forward once more. Plank. And exhale. And look forward at the space between your hands. Step your feet up to your hands and inhale. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, arms lift, heart lifts. And exhale, hands come down through heart center. And drop the hands, roll the shoulder blades back. Inhale, arms lift, heart lifts. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step the feet back. Plank pose. Bend the elbows, lower all the way down to the mat. All 10 toenails on the mat. Roll the shoulder blades back. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, lower. Coming either through tabletop position or through plank. Then lift the hips up and back for downward facing dog. Breathe into your dog. Full breath here. Inhale your right leg up and back. Bend the knees, stack the hips. Let's just open to the side just a little bit. Exhale, step your right foot between your hands. Drop your back knee down. Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Hands can come to your knee. Be mindful to keep your toes pointing forward and to not have your knee fall inwards. Maybe widening the stance a little bit. If it feels good for you today, arms can come alongside the ears. Exhale, hands from your front foot. Slip your hips back and straighten your front leg. Great pose for a block or two. Flex through your front ankle so your toes point up to the ceiling. Straighten through the hamstring. Engage your quads so your kneecaps engaged. Protect the knee. And just stay here if this feels good and you have a hamstring stretch. You have sensation. We don't want pain. We want to feel the stretch. And if you're looking for a little bit more, then you can just begin to lean into the hamstring and hinge forward at the waist. Lower your blocks. Inhale, take it forward into a low lunge. Inhale into the hips. And exhale. Inhale, moving forward, low lunge. Expand the belly, expand the chest, grow tall. And exhale, shift the hips back. Once more. And exhale. Shift the hips forward, low lunge. Put your blocks to the side for a moment. Left hand to the mat. Inhale, straighten the back leg and reach your top right hand to the sky. Spiral your heart open. Beautiful. Exhale. Plant your hand down. We're going to, before we step back into plank, just press both hands into the mat. Inhale, lift up your foot. Tiger curl. So we're pulling our knee into our chest just for a moment. Turn so your shin is parallel to the front of the mat or close to, and settle back down into your hips for pigeon pose. Now, your shin does not have to be parallel to the front of the mat. This is just a suggestion. Your heel can be closer in to your hips. If that feels better, always option to sit up on a block as well. Walk the hands forward. Another great pose for a block, and just melt the heart. Settle into your breath. Adjust as necessary. Again, looking for sensation, not pain. And if you are looking for a deeper stretch, you can flex through your right foot, your right ankle. And the more that we're parallel to the front of the mat, the deeper the stretch we're also going to get. Everyone's version of this is going to look a little bit different. And it's just about learning what today's is going to look like. Inhale, begin to walk your chest up. Plant your hands into the mat. Roll onto the back toes. Inhale, pick up the body and straighten your right leg back to a plank pose. Your option of a vinyasa or to meet in downward dog. Bend the elbows. Your choice of back bend, whether it's cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Exhale. Inhale, look forward at the space between your hands. Walk your feet up. Inhale, create space. Exhale, fold. Inhale, circle the arms down, around, and up. Exhale, hands down through heart center. Release the hands. Heart lifts, gaze lifts. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, create space. And exhale, plant the hands, step the feet back. And your choice, bend the elbows through chaturanga, up dog, downward facing dog. Always option to take a cobra or skip it. Inhale, left leg up and back. Bend the knees, stack the hips, three-legged dog. Exhale, low, drop that foot. And we can increase our stretch here using gravity. Exhale, step your left foot between your hands, drop your back right knee down. Anjaneyasana, second side. Hands, you can knit them, place them on your knee. Lift the gaze, lift the heart. Sink into the right hip. Inhale your arms alongside the ears if it feels right for you, if you did on the first side, pardon me. And exhale. Grab your blocks. Have them about at your hips. And exhale, shift the hips back. Straighten your front leg. Straighten or flex through your left ankle. So your toes point to the ceiling. Inhale, grow tall. So I like to grow tall in the spine. Find my breath. And when that feels good, begin to hinge forward at the waist, just slowly crawling forward. Maybe you'd like to stay here. And as you settle, you'll find that you can slowly sink a little deeper, a little deeper, a little deeper. Perhaps that's your experience. Inhale, shift the hips forward, foot flat on the mat. Hands on either side on blocks, Anjaneyasana. Deep inhale, and exhale, shift the hips back, straighten through the front leg. Continue to pull this hip back. So we're in line, we have our hips our hips square to the front of the mat. Inhale, slink forward, lift the chest, and exhale. Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits. Use your blocks to guide you. Inhale, shift forward, place your blocks on either side. Plant your right hand to the mat, straight through the back right leg, coming up onto the toes. And inhale, left hand spirals up to the ceiling. Deep inhale. Exhale, plant the hand. Both hands on the mat. We're strong through our back toes. See if you can pick up your left foot, tiger curl it in, hug the knee in. Turn so your shin is as close to parallel to the front of the mat as you can, and settle back down for pigeon pose. One may want to flex through your left ankle. You'll notice it's like it turns on the stretch. Just like another little degree there. So inhale, grow tall. And exhale, walk the hands forward. It's a really nice pose for a block, just for something to press the third eye into. I love to come down and just settle my forehead here. Inhale, begin to walk yourself back up and set the block aside. Hands are rooted into the mat. Come onto the back toes, lift the hips up, step the left foot back. Your choice, vinyasa, or skip it. We'll all meet in downward facing dog. Take your time in getting there. Take a deep breath in. Side out. Take a moment to note how each side feels. If there's maybe one side that's tender, or if it just feels really groovy now. I'm just taking note, not having the intention or desire to change, just witnessing. Okay, bend your knees. Bend your knees, take a little hop forward, and settle down onto your seats. We'll come into Badakanasana. Let's take the soles of your feet together. Always option to throw a block underneath if your knees are up here and this is really uncomfortable for you. Then adjust. Blankets, books, whatever you have. Grasp onto the feet. Grow tall in the spine. Inhale. And exhale. Hinge forward. Maybe you want to use your hands to just walk you forward too. Just open the hips. Close off the eyes. And just sink into this pose and the breath. And walk the hands out a little wider if it feels good for you. Just taking full advantage of the juiciness that this pose can provide. Inhale, walk yourself back up. Take the feet out in front of you. Give them a little wiggle. Move your blocks. Take a seat back just a little farther on the mat, and take the heels wide. So goal is for each corner, but it can look like anything. Whatever your wide-legged forward fold is going to look like. Seated wide-legged forward fold. Always option to sit up on a block as well. Just make this a little bit more, oh, see there where my hip bone went. It gives just a little bit more room for the hips to tip forward, and it's something to explore, to see it can change your experience with the posture. Especially if it's something that you really aren't enjoying, I highly recommend elevating the seat. Again, pillows, blocks, books, whatever you have. It doesn't have to be anything like a fancy foam bolster, or block rather. Inhale, grow tall, and exhale, walk yourself forward, just a little bit, just a hair. Stay here for a moment. Your next exhale, walk your hands over to your right foot and just reach with your fingers, tips. If you touch your foot, great. If you don't, great. And take your hand, thumb side pointing down, thumbs down. Inhale, like a big ray of sunshine, open the heart. Lift the hand to ceiling. And exhale, carries you down to the mat. Walk yourself back to center. Reach forward. Inhale. Walk yourself up, just a squeeze. And exhale. Walk yourself over to the left. Reach with your left hand. Sorry, I had to readjust this block. I have a really bony butt. It was just not comfortable. Reach with your right hand to your left foot. And again, to sort of take advantage of this side body stretch in here. Turn so our thumb is down, boo. Inhale, sunshine. Stretch your hand to the ceiling. Open the heart. Just like envision this great, beautiful ball of energy just shining out. And exhale your top hand down. Walk yourself to the middle. Inhale. Walk yourself up halfway. Exhale. Inhale all the way up. If you went all the way up in one motion, that's fine. Something that's really broken down. Remove your block from under your seat. If you haven't already, or if you don't have it, then that's fine. Come so you're on your mat. Place your hands so they're facing the front of your mat. So your fingertips are facing the front of your mat. Your toes are facing the front of your mat. We're going to move into reverse plank, or even reverse bridge if you wish. So inhale, press the hands into the mat, and lift the hips. So here's our, I suppose, reverse table. Reverse bridge, what do people call it? Option to drop the head back, look behind you. And if you're looking for something, sorry, I can't talk when my head's back there. And if you're looking for something more intense, always option to straighten through the legs. Press the feet into the mat, lift the hips high. Purvaltanasana. And exhale, bend the knees. And lower the seat down to the mat. Lower yourself down. Inhale the knees into chest, give them a squeeze. Apanasana. Deep inhale. And exhale, take them over to the left. For a little twist. Right hand can come out. Inhale, lift the knees, bring them into chest. Press the air away. Inhale deeply. And exhale them over to the right. Take your left hand out. Look towards your left hand. Or wherever's gentle and feels good for the neck. Use your hands. Inhale, guide your knees back up to center. Give them a little squeeze. Doing any last adjustments. Release the feet. Left hand on the heart, right hand on the belly. Savasana. Thank you so much for joining me for this practice today, and I hope it serves you well. And from my heart to yours, namaste.